Welcome to the new episode of Karak Chat podcast. Today we're in a different venue, Vishal.
Yes,
You look excited.
very excited.
I don't hear the excitement. Okay, it's coming up. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are at the Bhukkad Cafe, and this is a great venue, and we'll send you more pictures. And just to give you a brief overview of Bhukkad Cafe, this is something. I'll tell you what excites me about this. This is based on nostalgia. The owners of this cafe, they want to make this something about Indian street food. And if you look at the menu, here it is, beautiful menu, and a lot of great items to look at. And the place is so vibrant that I want to come here all the time now. So I'd urge everyone to come here and check it out. And we're joined by two owners, Parth and Reshmi. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure.
Mr. Vishal.
So, thanks for the introduction, Zian. So, what made you start Bhukkad Cafe?
You want to take that?
So, we have, back in our college days, when we were dating, we used to go out for a lot of meals in and around Bombay.
Yeah.
And we love food, all right. And when we came to Dubai, we did our engineering from here. And we saw that, there were a lack of good Indian street food concepts over here back in the day. And that's what that's what got us to open our first cafe in Karama back in 2018, and we've never looked back since then. Yes, we always wanted to get good tasting Indian street food, a nice community, nostalgic vibes, for the community over here in Dubai, and I believe we've been successful in doing that.
It looks like that because I was going through your profiles and everything, and one thing that came to my mind is you both are true entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Something people claim to be, but when I look at your profile, I'm like, these guys made it. Cafe, marketing agency. You're doing so much. How does that work? How do you guys blend both?
So I think we became entrepreneurs by accident.
Okay.
None of our family members are from the business background at all. We are the first generation in our entire 3-4 generations of our family to actually start doing something in entrepreneurship. And I think we started entrepreneurship pretty young. So back in the day when we actually graduated, we worked only for a couple of years before starting our first business.
Okay.
So we have a full service marketing agency that's been now running for the last 10 years. And the Bhukkad Cafe also happened because we wanted to create a legacy brand. We wanted to create a brand that people would remember and talk about even after we were gone.
Okay.
Right? And that's how the dream and the vision for the Bhukkad Cafe started.
So initially, our first business is more of a service business, all right? And the second business we thought, like she said correctly, a brick and mortar business that people can remember us by, and people can even enjoy, for their entire life. So that's the plan.
Going back to why did you start Bhukkad Cafe? Why did you choose Karama as a location for it?
So Karama was the cow gully, or currently even to this date is the cow gully of Dubai. All right, a lot of people go down to Karama for quick snack, and it's sort of street food heaven for a lot of restaurants that come in there. A lot of people that want to try different cuisines. So it's also very centrally located.
Yeah.
So we were scouting locations back then. We did not find the right one. Luckily, we've got this particular location in Karama, and it took us almost 3 to 4 months to sort of build up the entire cafe and open our doors to the public.
And I guess it matched with your target audience as well, right? The location and everything, the name of the cafe.
So I think back in the day, Karama was a really vibrant locality. It still is. It has this old world charm of Dubai. But we actually saw customers. We were so viral that we actually saw customers coming all the way from Marina, JLT, even from Abu Dhabi and Sharjah to actually come and taste our food. And you wouldn't even imagine. I used to be in the kitchen for at least 10 to 12 hours a day. He used to be the cashier. We were there all the time chopping onions, and at the time things were very new. We just had launched the brand. The recipes were all mine. The way things were supposed to be served, the staff wasn't aware, so I
Yeah.
had to like literally look at each and every dish before it was served to the customers. And I think people who came in, they also saw our passion. And I'll tell you one small incident that has always stayed with me,
Yeah.
and this is like a testament to the community, the hooker community that we have created. So there was one time when we had, I think, queues to like 2 to 3 hours of queues outside. Everything was full.
Yeah.
It was like a chaotic situation in the kitchen. And I had come out of the kitchen, and I was actually serving the customers. And then there was this one family
Yeah.
who actually got up and they started helping me in serving the customers.
Wow.
And I have never seen anything like it
Yeah.
in Dubai or anywhere else. And that made me realize that we've actually built something really, really, great.
Yeah. Why were you not helping her?
Yeah. So I was a cashier. So I used to be the cashier back in the day, and
Yeah,
I used to, talk to any customers that so we have a barista where people used to come and sit. Our seating wasn't enough to accommodate all the rush that we got. We had people waiting outside the cafe for almost one and a half hours just to eat at our place. And whichever customers walked in and they sat on the barista, I used to always go and have a chat with them. And some said that they heard us on the radio, somebody read us in some newspaper, and we had no idea what was going on. Alright, we had just gone viral for the food and the way we serve food. And slowly we started to realize that, we've accidentally created something that is much larger than us.
Yeah.
Right? And again, at that point in time, we were just serving customers that were coming into Karama. Then we thought that, let's make this a bigger phenomenon than it already is. And in 2021, I believe, that's when we began exploring the idea of franchising.
Okay.
We always knew that we had to go down this route.
Yeah.
But that's when we thought, let's formalize this and let's make this bigger, even bigger. And we began to sort of explore franchising with a variety of consultants. We sat down with them, developed our recipes, manuals, our standard operating procedures, SOPs. And we began marketing our franchising back in 2021. And by 2022, I mean, the first quarter, we'd already sold, the first franchise. We opened our first outlet in March of 2022.
Yeah.
Then we opened the second one in June. Then we opened 2 more in 2023, and we opened 1 last year. So, I mean, we've just been
growing.
on a
Yeah.
spree,
So,
So,
that's great. Yeah.
Right. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it's been 7 years now, right?
Almost 7 years
Almost
since
7
the first
years.
outlet, yes.
Right. So what were you thinking when you first started Bhukkad Cafe, and what do you think of it now?
Like we mentioned, we were very busy in the beginning. The first couple of months were so chaotic that we did not actually have time to grasp what was happening around us. We were not fearful as well. We did not have doubts in our mind because we literally did not have time to think over all of these things. We would go to the outlet, we would spend the day there, and then we would come back and sleep because it was so tiring. But every time, it's with any kind of business and being entrepreneurs, there's always this self-doubt that am I doing the right thing?
Right.
It is there, it was there before as well. It's there now, but there are ways to actually work around it, because every time I come to the outlet, every time I see that people are actually enjoying the creations that we've made, that self-doubt actually comes down a little bit.
Got it. Even when we started the podcast, it was more of we started with a certain goal. We need to achieve this, and then we were more of and gradually as we started transitioning into different episodes, it was more of okay, what we thought of in the beginning is we can actually make it a much wider ecosystem for us. So do you also feel the same for?
Absolutely. So that is the reason, one of the main reasons why we transitioned from Karama, which is a standalone location, into mall locations. Now, all the other locations that we have other than Karama are all placed in malls. And we did this knowingly because we wanted to reach a wider audience, people probably who do not understand Indian food all that much. And, there's a stereotype of Indian food. Whenever you ask, a European or a different national, what do you think about Indian food? They will always come with naan, maybe dal makhni and biryani. It is so stereotypical. But if you actually go through our menu, you'll see that Indian food, Indian street food is so much more than just dal makhni and butter chicken. And that's the reason why this phenomenon is growing larger and larger, because we are catering to a wider audience as of now, being in malls.
it's funny you say that, because I've been to your Karama Cafe in, I think, early 2019 when I was in uni here. And I grew up in Saudi. So for me, like you said, the normal items you're naming, that's what Indian or any Desi items are like. So when I came here and my friends are like, hey, let's go through this. And I'm like, what is this? This is so new to me. Like, I'm in a different world. So that was something unique. And that, like, I've always captured that. And when you opened Silicon, I remember me and him always going there and just working.
Right.
We never thought we'd be here interviewing you guys. So this is something big for us. I want to take your point of view as well, because you were behind the, let's say you were acting as a cashier. So when everything was coming in, what was going through your mind though?
So, I mean, at that point in time, we didn't really have time to think, I mean, we had the sales dashboard on our app, and just keep refreshing it to see what's actually happening. And it gets a good feeling when you see high numbers and good sales, and when you see more than just the sales, it's also, like she said, the community that we created. We actually didn't expect people to enjoy the food as much as they actually did. All right, we sort of went viral, and we had no idea from where customers were coming in. I believe to a certain degree it was also word of mouth. People enjoyed food, and they informed their family and friends, and then they came down. And I think so that's the most organic form of marketing. We're just happy to be able to serve good food to the people that are walking through the door. And I mean that's a real good feeling. When we started franchising, I believe we've been able to do that. Growing from one outlet to 6 locations. We have expanded our customer base, and we can serve more customers and make more customers happy.
Makes sense. You're the marketing guy. Ask your marketing questions.
Right. Yeah. So me and Pratik, we have been into digital marketing for the last 5 years. And So when we look at your even your social media strategy, okay, you know what? How much do you rate your social media strategy?
A 10 on 10. I think we are one of the best in the business. I feel like we are one of the best pages in the UAE. Of course, we do take inspiration from a lot of other brands as well. But the one thing that actually separates us from other restaurants is the fact that our storytelling is very, very authentic.
Yes.
We have a social media team that comes in with ideas and shoots, and you'll not believe we don't have any approval process in our management. Like I have seen a lot of organizations and restaurants that look at a video, then make cuts and edits, and so many different layers of authorization happens, and then they end up posting. But Instagram and TikTok are not those kind of platforms. They are short form video content platforms, and the idea is to consume content as fast as possible, right? So we place a higher we feel that quantity is better than quality. Of course, quality is good, but you need to keep bombarding the platform with as much content as possible, as often as possible, because that's how the algorithm will pick it up. And when it comes to the content itself, I always talk about authenticity. We need to keep telling our story in the most real, authentic way as possible, because people do not want to see PR-ish content. People do not want to see made-up content. People want to know you. Who are you as a co-founder? That's why you would see us appearing in all of our videos, because who else will tell our story better than us?
So true.
And I mean, we like to be as creative as possible. So we keep finding new and cool ideas to create videos, and it doesn't seem like work to us. So we sort of actually enjoy the process of actually creating content and coming up with ideas. And she's the brain behind the dishes, so she comes up with unique ideas and dishes, and we find ways to sort of make it viral. So every other video, the goal is just to see how we can increase the impressions or increase the reach. And we try to put as much creative juice into each video as possible.
You guys are unique, that's for sure, on social media. But is that also a factor that differentiates you from your competition as well?
See, when it comes to competition, I think so we consider ourselves as the only competition. I mean, I know it sounds cliched, but it's a process of how can we do better? What can we do better? How can we improve ourselves? I mean, there are multiple brands in the market, in different food categories, serving different cuisines. And I wish everybody the best, whether they're competition or not. But we try to stay relevant to what we do, and we try to improve on what we are doing with every video, with every recipe that we come out with. The idea is to make customers come back for more. So we're not just about food. we're also about community. So that's why you'll see that we do a lot of events, we do stand-up comedy, we do live music, we do workshops. We want, we monetize the business from food, but we want people to sort of relate to us as a place where they can go and hang out, where they can, come and spend time, just chill. There aren't any restrictions. You just come sit in with a cup of chai, work on your laptop all day long. Nobody's going to ask you anything. So.
Okay, one last question about marketing. So basically, you tick the box for marketing. You're ticking the box for good food.
Yeah.
But if you had to choose between good food and marketing, right? And I'm not just asking with your perspective. I'm asking like somebody who wants to open a restaurant or who wants to start something new for themselves. So what should be, definitely, like for me, I would say that good food should be on the number one list. But
I'll comment on that. So I was reading this article, all right, and I was seeing there were these top ranked restaurants in the world. All right, the first two of the best rated and ranked restaurants in the world have shut. All right. Okay. So what that typically means is, good food can only take you so far. All right. I'm not saying compromise on food quality, but obsessing about food quality to a whole different degree will not get you anything. If you see the brands that have stood the test of time would be like the big chains, all the big chains. And it's not necessarily that they serve the best food. They serve the most relevant food, or they're good at marketing, or they can communicate, what product they're selling to its own customers or their customer base in a very simple way, and it's very relatable. So I would say between marketing and good food, it has to be a balance. Good food can only take you so far, good marketing can only take you so far. It'll have to be finding the perfect balance between the two. If you have excellent food, don't have excellent marketing, it's not going to get you anywhere. If you have average food and excellent marketing, you'll not have that repeat customers come back again. So it has to be a perfect balance.
And there are, in our experience in the last 5 to 6 years, there have been so many great restaurants that used to serve such great food as well, but they're not there anymore.
That's true.
We see restaurants shut down every now and then, and what could be the reason for that if their food was so top-notch? Right? Because in addition to top-notch food, you need to have so many other things that also you need to be doing right.
Yeah. I think you did a really good job with that community aspect, like building that, I think that engagement with people and they want to come back. So that is good. Is there any inspiration when it comes to, like, I would say, I'll ask you this, when you're choosing the menu items or naming them, do you look at something, or is this like my own creativity?
Yeah, we do have an inspiration. So when I come up with new dishes, I'm always thinking about my childhood and my growing up years. And how can I take those dishes and modernize them to fit into today's world, right? Yeah. So, for example, we have this mango pop, right? Yeah. It's a viral ice cream dish. I used to love eating mangoes in the summers. It's so relevant. Our mango menu is always viral. And I also used to love eating kulfi, malai kulfi, right? So how can I combine the two? So me and my team, we actually sat together and created this. So it's a whole mango pop, and it's actually stuffed with malai kulfi, and it's frozen. And then it's dipped in this pink chocolatey layer. So it brings all the elements of your childhood that you once enjoyed. And every dish on the menu has to have a story. So when the staff is actually recommending a dish, he should be able to tell a story about that dish. So that's my inspiration from my own life, own childhood. Like you mentioned earlier, we used to, when we used to date, we were all over town eating all the, dirty Chinese, dosa from the streets. So these are memories that we are fond of, and we actually look back at those times to create new dishes.
So both of us are from, we did a junior college back in Bombay, and we're from this college in Bombay called Mithibai College. Okay. Right? And I believe this was after 10th, we had, in Bombay you have 11th and 12th. So we did junior college, we were both science students. And I think so we bunked a lot of college, and we were just eating because that entire area, they had dosas, they had this Mithibai grill sandwich, which we have on our menu. Okay. So we've sort of taken the inspiration from that entire street as well. Yeah. And and the place was crowded. So many young students just standing outside eating, not bothering about the weather. So we sort of had our time exploring food, different restaurants. bunking college and doing all of this fun stuff. And we'd put on some serious weight during those 2 years. But it was fun, yeah. So what the research that we did.
So after junior college, you came here and then did mechanical engineering.
Yeah, we're from BITS Pilani, Dubai. We're both alumni. We are both mechanical engineers. And that was also a great time, the 4 years. Living in a hostel, that was a different experience altogether. Our first stint in Dubai, we didn't know that we'll be staying back for such a long time. But after we actually got placed, I mean, we worked in our respective jobs for about 2 years. And very, very early on, we realized that this is not what we want to be doing because we had so much more potential. And I felt like I'm doing a 9 to 5 and I'm good at my job. I enjoy my job, but at the same time, I'm not adding value to my own life. I'm giving this value away to another company. Which is why we started our first business.
And I mean, just to add to that, I think so. When you win your job, you're used to seeing a salary. Every first of the month, salary of X 6, 7, 8,000 dirhams credited to your account. Right? The first business that we got, the first check that we got was 90,000 dirhams. And coming from a 7,000-8,000 dirham salary to seeing a 90,000 dirham check was like, wow, this is the right direction that we headed in. All right, I think so. She sent a photo of the check to her brother, see what we've done, So it's a good feeling, and I think so. Since then, we have never really looked back. I think so. We also just go with the flow and just do our thing. A lot of the times we do end up discussing, we don't really take enough time to appreciate what we've created because we're just, looking at what's the next goal. But that's just how we are. So,
so we have mechanical engineers. I'm a civil engineer.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Nice.
He's a computer science engineer.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, wow. Which Pilani? Oh, wow.
Dubai campus. Okay.
Oh,
wow, okay.
Amazing. So he knows, he understands, he gets us.
So by the way, since we are alumni of BITS Pilani, I mean, we have actually we are also opening we are operating the canteen on our campus as well.
So that's our sixth outlet. So that's an express QSR model of the Bhukkad Cafe. So you've seen the medium-sized outlets where it's an experiential setup, but in the months to come and the years to come, we're going to also open a lot of express locations where it may not be like fully sit down like this, but and it'll have maybe the most popular dishes from our menu, but it'll be easier for us to have many more such locations come up.
Where I know you're in UAE right now.
Yeah.
So what are your expansion plans?
So we have, honestly speaking, we don't take anything very seriously. We're not spending a single marketing dollar on getting leads or anything like that. But as we speak, we have about 700 plus organic inquiries for our franchise from different parts of the world. And I think UK is where we have, like after UAE, UK is the market, the region where we've had the most amount of inquiries from. So it'll be fun to actually take the Bhukkad Cafe there as well. Yeah.
The idea is to sort of expand globally across different countries. What we do here currently is limited to the UAE population, the people over here, and our plan is to sort of take this to the world, and let's see how that goes.
One vada pav at a time.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Okay, important question now. Because I'm the only odd one out here. Are you ever opening in Pakistan?
We would love to. We would love to. So I am a big fan of Pakistan as a country, as a nation. And I love the culture so much because it's so similar to ours, but also so much more different.
That's
and I'll give you an example of like food as well. So biryani within India is also so different. So we have the Mumbai biryani, we have the Awadhi biryani from Lucknow, we have the Calcutta biryani, we have the biryanis from the south. So we have from Kerala, Hyderabad.
The best biryani.
Best biryani.
I was just swearing when you say Hyderabad.
I mean, apart from biryani as well, we have...
Let me finish about the biryani. So I love biryani, right? I love experimenting with different kinds of biryanis as well. And one of my favorite is the Karachi biryani. And it's so spicy and comes with the aloo and everything. I love it. And I see that we are so similar, culturally similar, but we are so different as well in terms of food. Another example would be,
We eat, I mean, our weekend breakfast is from this restaurant called Shorafa. All right. And they have these
Lahori chana.
They have these Lahori chanas and they have this aloo paratha, which is very different from the Indian aloo paratha. And the tea also that they serve is very different. and it's what, $18, and we like get our entire breakfast.
Yeah.
We don't eat too much, but like 2 aloo parathas and just a lahori chana and chai with that, and that's like we're set. I mean, I think so. That's breakfast and lunch combined for us. But I mean, the food is so good, so authentic, and we really enjoy the food.
So yes, short answer is we would love to open in
100%,
Pakistan.
I don't know why I'm speaking of for all of Pakistan, but we would love to have you. So, are you still gonna argue about your biryani?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the best biryani.
Okay. Yeah, Vishal.
Yeah. So, how long have you guys been together? If you don't mind?
So we've been dating since sort of high school. So that would be 2006, 2005,
Right.
2006.
I think we'll complete 20 years soon.
Wow.
2026.
In 2026.
So from high school.
From high
to now.
school, so then to junior
Yeah.
college, then engineering, working,
Okay.
got married.
Yeah. So and then your business partners as well.
Yes.
Yep.
So how do you balance
So
both the lives?
So it's easy and it's difficult. I'll
Yeah.
tell you why it's easy. It's easy because we are literally the dream team. We are each other's best friends. We understand each other so well, and we also complement each other. So our skill set that we have is
Yeah.
very complementary. So I do take care of all things marketing, creative, and he's also a very, very creative person. Not many people know that he knows designing. So
Yeah.
everything that you see around us is literally designed by him.
Okay.
So I ideate some things and I
Yeah.
throw it at him, and he actually creates
Wow.
this. So we do have complementary skills. That's why it's easy. Why it is difficult is because not because of each other, but because we have to bring work home. So any entrepreneur would understand this, whether it's 6 p.m., 7 p.m., even at 11 p.m., the record does not stop. Your mind is constantly worrying.
Yeah.
It's thinking about something or the other. So that's the negative side, in my opinion, I think.
Well, I feel. I mean, it's all positive in my opinion, because we both are the brand co-founders, and we can take decisions at our level at any given
Yeah.
point of time in the day. It's not that you have to send an email to us or between us as well. So we can take a decision at 11 p.m. and implement it the very next day. So I believe there are advantages, but yes, there is intermingling of personal life and work life, but we've found a way to sort of tackle that. So.
And also, I think we both were together since such a long time. We have been together since such a long time, and we've seen each other's struggles. So today, in today's day and age, I see that girls want to get married to rich guys,
Yeah.
right? But I have literally, I got engaged to him at a time when he had lost his job, and I not told my parents. His parents did not know either,
Yeah.
because I believed in us, and I believed in the fact that we would be okay no matter what.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm very curious. So like at home, like normally you're arguing about something, right? No, I'm really curious.
Yeah.
So and it's not about business, but
Yeah.
then does it all of a sudden come like, that day you took a business decision which was not in my favor or something like that? Like, does all of this happen?
100%. So, I mean, rule of thumb, always listen to the wife. She's the real boss. All right. And that's about it. Yeah. There can't be a better decision than that. So, see, also, she does have this sixth or seventh sense about a lot of things.
Yeah.
All right. And it does come up. Suppose I've taken a decision without her consent or approval, and then I'm pretty sure that it'll probably come and bite me back later on in life.
Yeah.
So it's always best to listen to her. And,
That's what we expected the reply from you, because we know that she's always right and you're not going to disagree on that. So we just ask you.
She didn't even choose to add anything. She's like, yeah, 100% accurate. Okay, like you already mentioned, one of your best experiences, one of the families helping you and serving. What was, I would say, the most difficult experience during this journey, or if there is any?
So I believe, and I think so. This was difficult for a lot of businesses as well. This was during COVID.
Yeah.
All right. I think so. We had to shut operations. Nobody expected it. We shut operations for almost 3 to 4 months. And we have staff, and they are employed by us. So despite whatever circumstances we were facing as a business, we always ensured that they were well kept, they were paid, they got their salaries because they have families.
Yeah.
Despite us not having any income for 3 to 6 months, of course we did get support from our landlord and the banks over here, the government. So that was a positive. But I think so. Yeah, that time was difficult. I think so, not just for us, but for a lot of businesses.
But generally, this journey has been quite difficult. I mean, we don't show it on social media.
Yeah.
We are always hunky dory and happy and jumping around, eating food.
Yeah.
But that's not the reality. Nobody sees the number of nights I've cried myself to sleep. Nobody sees the blood, sweat, and tears that has actually gone into it. I can like confidently say that this journey has made me into a great marketing genius. It has made me into an accountant. I'm better than most first year law graduates as well, because I know the things that I've experienced, I've actually learned so much from that. So I wouldn't say that they were negative experiences, but they were experiences that made us who we are today and probably will help us in the future as well.
I mean, just to add to that, as an entrepreneur, it's not just one department that you're working in. You're managing the entire business, so it's always important to sort of know all aspects of business, whether that is from the core in the kitchen, knowing your recipes, to knowing how to manage a POS system, customer service at the customer's end, and from managing legal, so drafting contracts, knowing the law of the country, operating as per that, opening licenses, closing licenses, all of that, all the legal stuff. And then you add in marketing. So then you add in operations. So there are multiple aspects and facets to running any business. And I believe, we do know our business ground up, because we've started that way. And as a part of franchising as well, one of the key things is that, knowing everything from what materials are used in building our outlets, the fit out, who are the vendors that you have to select for these things. What is the dimension of the signage that has to go up? So we have to know each and every tiny aspect of our business, and we're really proud that we are able to sort of know these things. Also, when somebody takes up the franchise, they expect, okay, we're buying into a brand, or we're investing some money into opening an outlet. So they expect some sort of knowledge and know-how from the franchisors or owners of the brand in that regard. And I believe that we are able to add that value to them. So yes.
Yeah, I guess I'm just putting it out there because you spoke about the challenges and everything, right? Even you might also have challenges on creating the menu or coming up with new items and everything. Maybe because Bhukkad is a community, right? Like it just came out and you said it's not all fun as what we show on the social media. You could also show the challenges.
I'm sure I have my own page as well. I have my own Instagram as well, and I try to be as real as I can on that. We have to have a balance between the brand page and the personal page. But I would actually love to show a more real side to us, because again, like I said, it's not marketing, it's about storytelling. It's about being as authentic as you can, because there might be so many other startup owners that could actually take inspiration or probably relate to this as much.
I would say that let the brand page be, all positive, because there's enough negativity around the world. So let people come and enjoy that. I don't want to spoil their day. But our personal pages, we can create more realistic and relevant content about our journey. Just follow us for that.
And I think through Bhukkad, we have met so many wonderful people, and they reach out to us for their personal problems as well. So I know people that we've met through Bhukkad, they come to me and they ask me that I have actually started this. How would I do this? How would I get a new client? How would I, make my pricing structure? So we are so available to them because we have built this community and we owe it to them to reply back to them whenever they are in trouble, and they support us back equally.
Okay, so you guys are a restaurant owner, a marketer, engineers, consultants. You're a writer as well.
Yes.
You've written a book. I'm not sure if you know this.
I do.
Of course, a better host. But out of all of this, what is your favorite part, if you guys had to choose?
So I think so. When you have, I've read this back in school. When you have many babies, you can't just pick a favorite. So we sort of enjoy, every aspect of everything that we do. And I can't just say that, we are what we are today because of all of this. So I can't just say that, this is my favorite or that is my favorite. We enjoy doing everything. I believe engineering is something that we don't do so much on a day-to-day basis. We've studied it. The only skill. I mean, we've studied hardcore mechanical engineering, and that's very technical. But I like the problem-solving skills that we sort of derive from that and apply it to our life. And I think so. You guys being engineers, all of us over here being engineers, we do take that and sort of apply that in all facets of life.
I'm the only one who did accountancy and finance here. So, yeah, again, odd one out.
Yeah. So, okay, like you have to answer it separately. So, what's your most memorable moment?
Memorable moment.
Yes, with Bhukkad Cafe until now, because it's a journey, and you're going to create a lot of memorable moments.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, every time we open a new outlet and we see that we're able to serve, the customers that come in, and I like to see the look on their face when they walk into any of our stores and appreciate the creativity and enjoy the food.
Yeah.
I can't pick one moment because I have many such favorite moments, but yes, I do enjoy that in particular.
I think for me it would be when we opened our first franchise outlet, because there was so much doubt, put by other people. So whenever I spoke about franchising with my family or people that I knew that, I'm going to franchise the Bhukkad Cafe, they would say that, what? You're just one outlet old. You don't have the experience. Who's going to, buy a franchise? But when we opened that one outlet, our first was in Dera City Center, it really made me feel that this was doable, this was possible, and I could open 100 more outlets. And I was so emotional. I'm emotional at every outlet opening, but the first one is always the most special one. I love that outlet so much. We put so much heart and soul into building it. I love the franchisees of that outlet as well, because they believed in us, and together we created that first footprint where non-Indians and other nationals could actually come and try out our food.
I know we're going towards the end of the podcast, but you touched on the family aspect, and this is what I want to ask, because a lot of our Desi guests, whenever they do something else, there's always a question that, what did your family think of that? Because coming from our backgrounds, I was like engineer, doctor mostly. Yeah. You guys became engineers.
Yes.
So traditionally, I'll tell you what. Traditionally, like Indian families, they have this sort of a mentality, that you either become, or Desi families in general, you either become an engineer, become a doctor, become a lawyer. These are the three that you have to sort of select from. I think so nowadays it's more diversified than that. But back in the day when we opened our first business, we didn't really tell our family about it.
Okay.
All right? Because at that point in time, we already have doubts of our own. Yeah. All right. We don't want anybody else to add doubts to what we intend to do. In fact, we have a very close friend, and we had taken his credit card, and really sweet of him to sort of give his credit card, and he said, what, you use the card and pay it off, and that's how we actually applied for our first license.
Wow.
All right. And he said, you pay it off whenever you can. And we just started operating, and when we got the first check, we cleared it off. And we don't really inform our families even when we open the cafe. It's until after we've done it that okay, hi guys, we've done this, all right. So and then they say, oh, how did you do this and all of that, and then you have to explain. But
so I'm sure our families are very proud of us at this stage. But at the same time, see, they are from a different generation, right? They have a different thinking process, different mindset. If I were a parent and if I had a child, I would be super, super supportive of anything that they did. And I would always have this like safety net to catch them if they failed. Unfortunately, we did not have any help or any guidance or any mentorship from anybody from our respective families. Not saying that they were not supportive. Of course, they were supportive. But we pretty much did everything on our own. That's the cold, truth.
Good friends share their credit card. Just letting you guys know. That's the only catch I got.
You stopped listening after that.
Well, do you have anything else to add?
No.
One final question to both of you. This is our generic question the podcast is, what does success mean to you?
So success is again, it'll sound cliched, but it's never a destination. It's always the journey. All right, and there isn't one set thing that you have to achieve to be successful. It's how you're able to be successful throughout the journey, and success would be at multiple levels. For some people, it would be material success. For some people, it would just be peace of mind. So you can't define one thing. It's going to be a mix of a whole lot of things.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have to be successful every day in order to be successful overall.
But for me, it's like, if you want to say, you know what, today my day was successful, how would you define it? Like,
So, I mean, there's not just one particular thing. Like, you can, there'll be days where you're happy with the work that you did, and you'll be successful. There'll be a day where you open your bank balance and see $100 million. And so there are multiple things that can sort of quantify
fair
that.
enough. Fair enough.
Success for me is, I think, freedom, which we have actually. Freedom to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do. That is something that is a very underrated result of entrepreneurship. Of course, there are responsibilities that come with it, but for me, it would be the ability to actually do whatever I want. I can probably, take a flight to Maldives and have a pina colada on a beach. Of course, money is a big motivator for me. I wouldn't lie, But yeah,
$100 million.
anything 7-8 figures is good for me.
Wow. Well, Reshmi, Parth, it was lovely having you.
Same here.
It's a great podcast. And to all our audience, please come here.
Stay hungry, stay Bhukkad.
Stay hungry.
Stay hungry, stay Bhukkad. You can find them in Silicon Oasis City Center, Dera, City Zahia. If you're a BITS Pilani student, you're already living your life over there. So check them out.
And I think this outlet is one of our...
favorite? No, go on.
Okay, so this outlet is one of our most favorite as well, because here, for the first time ever, we actually experimented with shisha.
Yeah.
Right.
We have the most amazing creations on our menu. It's a secret room, so once you come to Festival Plaza, you'll see our actual outlet, and then you'll have to come out and reach it, and it's so beautifully made, and I love this outlet as well.
That is
You
great.
guys should definitely try the unique shisha flavors that we have here.
Right.
All right. We have something which again connecting nostalgia. So I don't know if you guys have eaten this toffee called Mango Bite.
Yes.
All right, back in India. So there's this toffee called Mango Bite, and
Okay.
we've created a shisha out of that.
Okay.
All right. So with like very similar flavors.
We have a Ras Malai shisha as well.
Wow.
Oh,
So we try to be unique, try to be
Yeah.
creative even in the dishes that we create. So.
That is great. Well, thank you again.
All right.
And
Thank you so much.
thank you.